the FBI caught again. And I was asking this question. I'm just wondering why the FBI hasn't raided Chuck Grassley's home. How come they haven't raided Jesse Waters' home? I'm just wondering, because they're speaking out loud about all of this. Because Chuck Grassley, he released this information about what happened. And once he released this information about what happened, then Jesse Waters picked it up. Jesse Waters talked about it. And at first I was thinking about the 40, how do you say it? Alibaba or I guess in this case it would be Ali Biden and the 40 FBI thieves.
What does that mean?
Alibaba and the 40 thieves. You never heard of that?
Nope.
You've never heard of that? Have you ever heard of that? Alibaba and the 40 thieves? Have you heard of that?
He's like,
you never heard of that either? Am I the only one? Come on. Someone tell me in the chat that you've heard of that before. Alibaba and the 40 thieves. It was with the genie in the bottle. Come on, man.
How dare you?
Oh.
Come on, man.
You never seen a genie in a bottle?
We got crickets over here.
You never seen that? Y'all have never seen that movie?
We're like, what the
You've
frick
never
is he
seen
talking
that
about?
movie? You never seen that movie,
Will,
The Genie
I
in the
already
Bottle?
said no,
Come on,
apparently.
it's an animation. Yes, you have. It's
Okay,
the Blue
Will,
Genie.
I'm going to make you feel really good.
It's the Blue Genie. Yes, Aladdin. They were singing it in there.
Aladdin.
They were singing the song in there, Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. Oh, come on, man.
Come on, man.
Okay.
Wow. Y'all really don't remember that. Y'all must be smoking
I remember
something.
Aladdin, but I don't remember that
Alibaba
song.
and the 40 Thieves. But anyway, this
Well,
should be
plenty of people relate to
Biden
you,
and the
so.
40 FBI thieves, because the 40 FBI agents or informants, what have you, they were all blackmailing Joe Biden. They've been blackmailing him. Listen to this where Jesse Waters broke this information out. And, maybe after this show, I'm going to pull up Alibaba and the 40 Thieves, and then I play. Oh, that's what you're talking about, Will. Oh, now I get it. Some people are just slow. But anyways, listen to this.
Fox News alert. Everything Primetime has been saying about the FBI and the Biden family has just been confirmed. For years, we've told you the FBI knew everything the Bidens were up to. The cash, the Chinese diamonds, American policy for sale. Not only was Biden blackmailing other countries and other countries blackmailing him, but the FBI was blackmailing Biden. Senator Chuck Grassley just announced that the Federal Bureau of Investigation has had 40 informants inside the Biden family for the last 15 years. What does that mean? It's exactly what you think. 40 FBI informants, going back to the time Joe Biden was vice president, have been providing criminal information to FBI field offices throughout the country. 40 FBI informants have been feeding the Bureau exactly what Joe Biden, James Biden, and Hunter Biden have been doing all over the world. Primetime isn't sure the FBI had this many informants working on the Trump campaign. So, what does it mean?
So let me stop it real quick. Because this information come out, and Jeremy actually talked about it earlier, where Meadows was, working with the FBI and recording President Trump privately, not allowing President Trump to know. And I just wonder what the expression on President Trump's face when he heard about this information. You're like, what? And then, and you know what? Probably right then, and President Trump, some light bulbs went off, and President Trump said, okay, now I understand why he did X, Y, Z. I'm willing to bet that took place. I'm willing to bet that's exactly what President Trump was doing. The whole system is corrupt. And, when I say that, when they say that the swamp needs to be cleared, you have to start on your side of the swamp. You can't go over to the other side of the swamp expecting to clear the swamp out when you got swamp creatures on your side stabbing you in the back, pulling you down into the drain, into the swamp. You got to get rid of the swamp creatures on your side. And that's kind of what's been happening, especially with the Speaker of the House, the new Speaker of the House. But I'm praying that Mike Johnson does the right thing by the American people. Time will tell. So Right. As of right now, I believe that he will, but we'll see. Listen to this.
So, what does it mean that the FBI has had the Biden family wired? And what does it mean that the FBI hasn't done a thing? Well, it tells me that the FBI knows all of the president's dirty laundry and is blackmailing him. Because Senator Grassley also revealed that multiple FBI field offices tried to run this criminal information back to headquarters and were blocked at every corner. This criminal activity was shut down during the Trump impeachment, shut down before the last election, and it's still being shut down today. Grassley says FBI headquarters deliberately smeared criminal information coming from FBI informants about the Biden family as foreign disinformation, when in fact, after an exhaustive examination, there's never been any information that any of this has been foreign. Even the FBI informant that said the Bidens shook down Ukraine for a $10 million bribe, that was vetted and found not to be foreign disinformation. But it gets worse. The FBI's attempt to follow up on the $10 million Ukrainian Biden bribe was shut down. The FBI informant who said there's 17 tapes of Biden talking about bribes, that too has been shut down, despite that there's no evidence that this is foreign disinformation. And while all of this is going on, the FBI has been actively planting information against Donald Trump.
You remember this? Remember this?
Russia, Russia, Russia.
Does that sound familiar to anybody?
Russia, Russia, Russia. Russia, Russia, Russia.
And they're still pushing that lie today, as if he colluded with Russia. Everything they've done to this man. How much can he, just think about how much he's been enduring. What they've been doing to him, it makes me want to support him even more for what they're doing to him, even more. But listen to this.
Doctoring emails and disseminating fake dossiers. The FBI used Biden to get revenge on Trump. They got a dirty politician elected so they could defeat a politician who caught them trying to frame him and fired their director. And now we have a compromised president in the White House being protected by a rogue gang of sick agents. And the American people are the real victims of this stupid inside game. You're paying more for everything, the border's wide open, and crime is sky high. And we have 2 proxy wars that Biden can't manage. All because the FBI believes it's more powerful than democracy.
Wow. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? This is like really crazy to me. It's really crazy to me that the FBI, the top law in the country, if not the world, is truly a criminal organization. It's fitting for them to be working with Joe Biden. It really is. This explains why the FBI refused to give the documents to Congress when they were requesting them. Now it's like, we already knew it, right? But we're not even surprised by it. It's like, no, don't give them the docs, because you would think that the FBI would go ahead and delete any evidence or any documentation that they have tying them to the Bidens. You would think that they would go ahead and delete it. But you have whistleblowers. You have actual people from within inside of the FBI actually whistleblowing what they were doing, what they've been doing. You can't delete them unless you take them out and put them in a cemetery. And I want to say thank you to Eli for creating tonight's thumbnail. It's phenomenal. It's on fire. He created last night's as well. So if y'all haven't seen that thumbnail, it's really good, actually. It's really good. But yeah. The FBI being who they are, and I've said this so many times when I was younger. When I was growing up, I used to look at the FBI and I'm like, man, how cool would it be to be in the FBI? They come out with these TV shows with the FBI, and all of them, on the TV shows even, they're fighting the bad guys. In today's world, the FBI are the bad guys in reality. And you know what it makes me think about? Just like in Hollywood, Nuttywood, all of these stars Think about listen to what I'm saying real quick. And this dawned on me years ago. All the trafficking of children, all the perversion that they're doing, all the sick stuff that these Hollywood stars are doing. And it's the same thing as the FBI. Listen to what I'm saying. They believe doing good things, doing the right thing only exists on the big screen. See, out in the real world, these movie stars, they're all pedophiles, right? They all support pedophilia, except for a few of them starting to speak out against it. But for by and large, you've had movie stars in the past talk about when they were children, what the Hollywood used to do to them as children. They believe doing the right thing, being the good guys, only exists on the big screen. In the real world, all of this evil stuff that they're doing, this is the way reality is. This is what they want to do. Same thing with the FBI. Apparently, the FBI only believe, I guess they want us to believe that the FBI, they only do good things when you're watching the TV show with the FBI or like in the movie, because the FBI come in to do the right thing. But in reality, in the real world, it's just the opposite. We get the opposite when it comes to them. Now, listen to this one, because the FBI is 100% compromised. They are compromised, but you have whistleblowers. You have whistleblowers coming forward, and Chuck Grassley being that beacon for whistleblowers to go to. I'm just really highly surprised that the FBI hasn't raided his home as of yet. Possibly will do it soon. They might be doing it right now. Watch this.
Senator Chuck Grassley, your colleague, sending a letter to the FBI saying his office received information that there were at least 40 confidential sources on various criminal matters related to Joe Biden, James Biden, and Hunter Biden that the FBI were aware of. Grassley says that information was never followed up on, and instead the FBI dismissed it as foreign disinformation. Senator, you've done a lot of reporting and studying and investigating on this Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, James Biden influence peddling story. What about this?
Well, first of all, I'd recommend everybody read Senator Grassley's 7-page letter. God bless the whistleblowers that are coming forward to his office. He's the perfect person. He's a champion of whistleblowers. But what this is showing is just pervasive corruption at the highest levels of the FBI, and not just in the Biden administration. This obstruction of justice, this obstruction of these investigations were occurring under the Trump administration, under Attorney General Bill Barr. Again, I don't know whether Attorney General Barr was aware of it, but his underlings were certainly frustrating. And of course,
women, I would say that Barr did know about it. Barr is a total snake. See, he's being nice. He's not calling Barr out for what Barr didn't do, because Barr did not do his job. Same thing with Jeff Sessions. You remember Jeff Sessions before Attorney General Barr? Because Jeff Sessions didn't do his job. And even today, right now today, you have Barr. He's actually stabbing President Trump in the back every second he can. He'll go on his talk shows and stab Trump in the back, saying Trump should not be president again. Barr. So he's being nice. I'm not going to be nice to Barr, because Barr, along with Mike Pence, along with Sessions, along with these other rhinocrats, they didn't do the right thing. No one trusts them. I don't even trust Nikki Haley. I don't trust Krispy Kreme Christie. I don't trust him either. And I most definitely don't trust Ron DeSantis, because he did not keep his word. If he would have kept his mouth shut, all he had to do is keep his mouth shut. Be governor, be a great governor. He would have had a bright future in 2028. We would all be supporting him today.
What they were doing is they actually had a scheme to downplay, not only downplay, but to denigrate any derogatory information on Hunter Biden, calling it Russian disinformation. Senator Grassley and I were both actually, targets of that operation to dissuade us off of our investigation of Hunter Biden as well. So this is corruption that runs deep inside some of the top offices of the FBI, and people ought to read that letter, and we need those witnesses coming forward. We need more whistleblowers, but these individuals that Senator Grassley lays out, they need to be interviewed by Senator Grassley. Hopefully my office can be involved in that as well, and certainly the House.
Well, James Comer released more information about this, saying that Joe Biden received a check for $200,000 directly to him from his brother at a time that his brother was still being paid by the Chinese. Where are you expecting this investigation to go?
Well, we're going to fill in more of a piece of the puzzle, and that's what Chairman Comer's done a great job of, building off of our foundation. Senator Grass and I laid out all the transactions flowing into the accounts of this labyrinth of companies designed for money laundering. Now we need to find out.
Look at that. Look at the number on that check. Man, look at that. $200,000 on a check. And they, of course, they redact, I guess the address on there. And it's a Biden. Look at that. Sarah and James Biden. $200,000 paid to the order of Joseph R. Biden. Oh, look at that. Really? What is this? What is this, just a loan? It's a payback on a loan?
Well, I have an article about this check. Well,
this is a direct payment to Joe Biden. You want to bring that article up?
You want me to do it right now?
Yeah, bring the article up. Since we got this picture here, let's give a little more content, because the left, they always go, it's missing content.
Well,
I used to when I would put articles on Fascist Book, and even before, when it was Twitter, before X, they would flag it saying missing content. It would be 100% factual, but because you left out something, anything, it didn't even matter what it was, they would say it's missing content, and then they would penalize you for it. Listen to this.
Well, it's still going to miss content because, of course, the White House is not being transparent like they said they would be. Comer demands White House provide records to prove $200K payment to Biden from brother was a loan, right? Comer last week said his panel had uncovered evidence that Joe Biden in 2018 received a $200,000 direct payment in the form of a personal check from his brother and sister-in-law, labeled loan repayment. The White House last week said the committee found that as a private citizen, the president loaned his brother his money when his brother needed it. And after reviewing bank records, there is a record that he was repaid. But on Thursday, Comer penned a letter to the White House counsel Siskel requesting documentation on the payment, right? Because we have, of course, it says loan repayment, but they have no record of the loan where the money was withdrawn and given to his brother. The White House has claimed Joe Biden loaned James Biden $200,000, and this check was repayment. Comer wrote records obtained by the committee do show numerous large incoming transactions into the personal account of James and Sarah Biden from various entities. Comer in September had subpoenaed the personal and business financial records belonging to both James Biden and Hunter Biden. Some of these transaction records may have obscured the identity of a true payer, but no records in the committee's possession state that Joe Biden made a large loan payment to his brother. If Joe Biden did personally loan James Biden an amount that was later repaid by a $200,000 check, please provide the loan documents, including the loan payment, loan agreement, and any other supporting loan documentation, Comer wrote. Comer flagged the Internal Revenue Code has specific requirements for delineating and reporting below market rate loans from gifts. While there are some expectations, for example, loans of $10,000 or less, the payment in question would not appear exempt from such requirements if it is a loan. Comer said, indeed, there appears to have been no interest paid on the loan based upon the White House's own representations. Comer said the current lack of documentation leaves reason to doubt claims that this transaction was repayment for a legal loan. Surprise, Will?
Yeah, no surprise.
Comer requested documentation clarifying the nature of the payment, whether all applicable documentation and IRS filings were properly made, whether or not it was a loan. Biden's March 2018 check to Joe Biden amply demonstrates one way he personally benefited from his family's shady influence peddling of his name and their access to him. Even if the transaction in question was part of a loan repayment, we are troubled at Joe Biden's ability to recoup funds depend on his brothers cashing in on the brand. So either way, Will, it's still concerning, and we want to know if what that loan was for, and they're not going to tell us. And see, that's the whole thing here.
Wait a minute. If they're not going to tell us who had the cocaine, they're most definitely not going to tell us who had about this check, right? Think about it. They're going to cover it up. Let's go back to the rest of this video.
All the bank records of the money flowing out to various Biden family members. And the bank records we need most of all are President Biden's. We need to know where he has bank accounts. Are they all in the U.S.? Does he have some in the Cayman Islands? Do he have some in Switzerland? Who knows? That needs to be thoroughly investigated. But the problem is, over the number of years over past administrations, the FBI has thwarted legitimate leads and has prevented its agents from actually investigating Joe Biden's corruption.
And of course, we also know that this investigation is going to resume within the House. Senator, what do you want to see? You want to see Joe Biden's records? I don't think you're going to get your hands on that.
It's what the investigators should have already obtained those back in 2019 before Joe Biden was ever president.
Yeah.
But again, they were obstructed by higher ups in the FBI from obtaining those records. That was even under the Trump administration. So we've got a real problem of corruption and partisan actions. Look at how the FBI totally followed the leads on a completely false narrative of Trump campaign collusion with Russia. And yet they turned their back. They obstructed the investigation when it came into Joe Biden's corruption.
Russia, Russia, Russia. Russia, Russia, Russia.
Remember that? Let's wait a minute.
Russia, Russia, Russia. Russia, Russia, Russia.
What is that?
Russia, Russia, Russia. Russia, Russia, Russia.
We heard that
Russia,
for how
Russia,
many
Russia.
years? And it was a total lie. And the FBI was involved.
Russia, Russia, Russia.
I mean, what's going to happen? Is anyone going to be held responsible for this? Is anybody going to do anything about this?
Are they ever going to get access to the records that they're requesting? And now that they're opened up a possible impeachment, investigative scenario, they should be able to get this information. But you know what? Byron Donalds has said it repeatedly over and over and over. These people there's so much high amounts of money going in and out of these accounts.
Yeah.
What did these people do? There's no business for the Bidens. They can't say we're in the business of this or we're in the business of that. The only thing that they have the business of, and it's been very consistent with all the evidence that Comer has shown, the relationships with different businesses and countries, is the Biden name. That's the only thing they have. And they won't even answer
because
for
there was
it.
no assets, there were no products, there was nothing coming out of it. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
You like the content Will Johnson is producing? To stay informed and up to date with the current events, go ahead and hit the thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos like this one. Also, to find Will Johnson, visit www.uaf.media.